I'll read the last part of this short story. So, after Mr. Bergman drawing this illusionist painting on the wall to give hope to John C's hopelessness, we see him uh, all wet, drenched in water. The janitor found him on the morning of the first day in his room downstairs, helpless with pain. His shoes and clothing were wet through an icy cold. They couldn't imagine where he had been on such a dreadful night. And then they found a lantern still lighted, and a ladder that had been dragged from its place, and some scattered brushes, and a palette with green and yellow colors mixed on it. Okay, so these three expressions, yeah, Mr. Bergman always wanted to do a masterpiece, and he was finding for an opportunity. I do not know whether he was very serious to get do this masterpiece, but then he has drawn inspiration from John C's hopelessness. You see, it's very interesting that somebody's hopelessness is giving an opportunity for someone to do something to this hopeless situation or hopeless condition of a person. So here, Mr. Bergman is doing this painting, and there, these three symbols, the lantern still lighted, is a symbol for hope. It's giving hope. Lighted lantern, and the ladder. Ladder is also a symbol for hope where you keep climbing, as well as the palette of painted brushes, green and yellow, are also colors that give us hope. All this lush green is always giving us hope. So, Mr. Bergman leaves that place with all these three symbols, which are symbolizing hope for John C's hopelessness, and John C regains or gains back her hope and her health. But then Mr. Bergman finally, in Sue's words, she says, "Look out the window, dear, at the last ivy leaf on the wall. Didn't you wonder why it never fluttered or moved when the wind blew?" And she says, "Ah, darling, it's Bergman's masterpiece. He painted it there the night that the last leaf fell." Yes, it is Mr. Bergman's masterpiece. So for Mr. Bergman, art is with a lot of meaning. Art is nothing, not just a technical accomplishment. When you draw art, we have heard this notion, in literature, art for art's sake, but then here it's a different story. When art is used to support or help someone, here in the story, it's the hopelessness of uh, John C is regained through art. So there are different angles that we could look into, exploring different themes when we dig into this story. So many themes are kept open for us to explore, and here ends the short story with the theme, with the themes of mainly love and sacrifice. Thank you for your patience.